Okay, I'll call to order the May 27th meeting of the Planning Commission at 6 p.m. May we have the roll call?
Chair Hasty,
Here.
Vice Chair Leger, absent. Commissioner Quilty,
Here.
Commissioner Griego,
Here.
Commissioner Heichman.
Here.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Oral communications. At this time, any individual in the audience may address the Planning Commission and speak on any item within the subject matter of the jurisdiction of the Commission. Please state if you wish to speak on an item on the agenda. Remarks will be limited to 5 minutes. Not seeing anyone, we'll move on. Just a point of clarity here. We're going to do the consent calendar next, and it will just contain item A. So item B is actually a discussion item, and item C will actually be public hearing. So there's just a mix up in the order there. So consent calendar. All consent calendar items may be acted upon by one motion unless a planning commissioner requests to separate action on a specific item. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. So next, we will have a report from staff on the General Plan and Housing Element Annual Progress Report. Right?
Right.
Tom, okay. All you.
Chair Hasty and members of the Planning Commission, the City of Los Alamitos adopted its general plan in 2015. And the purpose of the general plan is to provide a common vision for the future of Los Alamitos and to coordinate the many decisions that over time will lead to the future that people wanted in that general plan. The annual progress reports, or APRs, provide legislative bodies with information regarding the implementation of the general plan in their city. There's a general plan APR, and then there's a housing element APR, and the housing element is part of the general plan, but it's separate. It's sent to the state in a separate format. And once accepted, the general plan APR and the housing element APR must be filed with the Governor's Office of Land Use and Climate Innovation, and also the California Department of Housing and Community Development. And staff has prepared a general plan APR for the calendar year 2025 and a housing element for 2025. And it shows the sections of the general plan that are the elements of the general plan, and then how those were interacted with through the year, and in which policies those affected as part of the general plan. And the other APR is the housing element APR, and that is what counts down on our RENA numbers. Hopefully we build enough that we can not get more RENA numbers the next year or something like that. But that goes to the state, and that's how they count how many units were built based on RENA. And the annual progress reports are presented tonight for your review and acceptance. That means acceptance or denial, whatever you want. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
When did the new RENA numbers come out? Like, I know it's every 10 years,
Yeah,
but
it's every 8 years.
8?
Yeah.
So it's coming up.
We're working on it already with
Oh.
the SCAG is who gives us our numbers from the state, the Southern California Association of Governments. And they're having meetings, and basically they're meetings where you go and you sit and listen, and you didn't know there was an opportunity to speak at any point, so. But anyway, they're discussing how to do the arena numbers the next time around, right now.
Is there any progress on the Lamson project?
That is, it's got a grading permit right now. And they're holding off still on deciding whether they're connecting to Seal Beach or the Rossmore Los Alamitos Sewer District. The sewer district here has decided it's okay, and they're perfectly fine with hooking up, but it would be much cheaper for the applicant if Seal Beach allowed them to.
Ah.
So Seal Beach has another meeting to decide whether or not they want to let it hook up to them or not.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No?
No.
I just had two quick comments. One, I saw that there's no major development applications, so.
Not this year, yeah.
That's-
Well,
yeah.
we get partial applications.
Right, ongoing.
And so my desk is covered.
Okay.
But none of them are complete applications yet. I keep sending back that I need this, so, yeah.
But any major ones on the horizon, like
Uh,
Lamson, as big as Lamson?
Not as big as Lamson,
Okay.
but fairly large projects for Los Alamitos,
Okay.
yeah.
And then, this is a little off the subject, but it just happened to be in here. I noticed one of the things that was mentioned in the general plan as, things that were happening and ongoing. I noticed that, we do the neighborhood preservation now as part of the code enforcement. You may not be able to answer this, but I see that as a milestone and that we're working on that. Do you know, is the neighborhood preservation trucks that drive around, is their job, do they respond to violations or are they looking for violations? I've had this question.
I'll let him in.
Yeah, so neighbor preservation was formerly considered our code enforcement division within development services. By structure of what they provide, they're there to uphold the municipal code and enforce any violations. So a lot of their response is actually items that are being submitted either by general public, right, by businesses, residents, or if there's any safety violations that are on hand. So in some cases, they are responding in collaboration with items that might fall under planning. If it's a residential project, following up with our building and safety division. So most notably, if you go down LoSal Boulevard off of Farquhar on that the northeast corner, there was a monument sign that collapsed. So they would respond to that to ensure that they're making the proper milestones to get that up to standard. So it's both quality in life and it's safety. But generally a lot of their response is not to be, even though their term, that's why I went to neighbor preservation, not to be enforcing, it's to get them to a mutual understanding that they're gonna make compliance measures to get there. So that's really what they do. If they observe an issue, for example, if they're going down Midtown and they see that there's a lot of debris and illegal dumping taking place, they will respond to that, right? They'll address it right then and there. So it's a combination of the two.
Okay. I guess that was the question, because the question that was raised to me is, it says even right here that it responds to complaints of violation. So
Yes.
the way you explained it, that complaint can come through a visual complaint or a resident calling it in. So they're not necessarily running around looking for this stuff. It's if they respond to it, it's because it's either right in their face or someone has called them.
Yeah.
Okay.
If someone makes a formal complaint, they're obligated to respond to it, whether it's just research, whether it's just knocking on someone's door and just following up on this. The notice of violation process isn't necessarily done right away unless it's something that's egregious or something that's been on.
Or safety.
Yeah, for safety or something that's been reported repeatedly. But a lot of the initial enforcement measures is just to educate.
Okay, great. Any other? So do we need any vote or anything just to receive the file, or
Just an affirmation that it's.
motion to?
That you feel like it covers what you need to.
I think the action request would be a motion to approve the 2025 general plan annual report, and the 2025 housing element annual progress report. Or you could simply make a motion to approve staff's recommendation, because that's verbatim what I just read to you.
Correct. So do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Great. A second? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on. So let's see, we've got now the change general plan and zoning designations at 11021 Winter Circle, general plan amendment. Do we have a staff report?
We do, Chair Hasty. This is a general plan amendment 2502 and zoning map amendment 2505, a request for approval to change the general plan land use designation and the zoning designation for a building that's in the planned light industrial zone that would like to be in the commercial office zone, and they've asked us for more time to work on this to bring it to conclusion on their end before it comes to you. And so our suggestion is that you continue this item to a date uncertain in the future, and hopefully within the next month or two they will come back with a full report for us.
Do you have any questions or discussion?
No?
You need to open here, right? So open the public hearing on this item. Anyone wishing to speak? No, don't see any. We'll close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of staff.
I move to accept the recommendation of staff to change the general plan and zoning designations at 11021 Winter Circle.
Sorry, if I could clarify. That's the subject matter of the public hearing that would be coming back to us, but tonight's request is a recommendation to continue
Just
the
continue,
item.
right?
Uncertain, so I just, I don't want to create the impression that we
Yes, just
somehow
make a
approved
motion.
the
Got it.
general plan change.
Yeah.
So do you want to restate that motion?
Sure. I would like to make a motion to continue item number 5C to a date uncertain.
We get a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on. We have a staff report on the Pine Street project.
Good evening. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the city engineer, Chris Kelly. First time for the planning commission, so thanks for having me. Gonna go over receive and file for just to get you guys up to speed on the Pine Street project. That's located in our downtown area. The main work is on Pine Street from Katella to Florista. And then there's some other work that's kind of joins the project to make it a complete streets type of project that we'll go through on some other streets as well. So as Irving gets the slides going, I can give you a brief overview, and then we'll go through some of the project plans, and I can run you through some of the limits and the types of work that we're going to propose here. So back in 2024, the city applied for a Complete Streets grant with OCTA, and we were awarded funds from OCTA from in the form of CMAC and STBG funds. We were awarded $5 million with a $2 million match. And what we did was we submitted our downtown revitalization plan that you guys helped process a few years back before that, which really helped in the grant selection process with OCTA. Along with the revitalization plan, we submitted our approved ATP plan, which is our active transportation plan. And we had that approved back in 2021. And that looked at the whole city, the bike lanes, what was possible, what was existing and what was possible. And so when OCTA looked at our grant, they looked at how connected we were going to be towards a lot of these major bikeways and just connecting the whole city to this area, pedestrians, bicycles, and cars. And so So like I said, this is a complete streets project. You have those slides, Irving? You see them? Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. Yeah, let's go to page 16 in the PDF. Kind of run you through an overview that how we're going to reshape Pine Street. What we're going to do is we're going to widen the street a couple feet on each side, and we're going to move the parking to the middle with 45-degree angled parking. We're going to gain a few spots by doing this, and we're also going to have one lane in each direction. We're going to narrow the lanes a little bit from what you're used to. It's a very wide street, so we can accommodate this. And then what we're going to do is have a lot of new street features, such as benches, landscaping, new median at Katella, and lighting. So you're going to see a lot of new features. You're going to have a monument sign at Katella. And what we're doing is we're trying to encourage, growth in businesses. We also want to help with our downtown events as well. So we're going to we'll keep the bollards off Florista. And this approach will really help with a lot of the events that we have in Pine Street throughout the year. I know we do have a lot. If we want to go to page 12, we're working right now. These are the project plans I'm going through. So we're working with Caltrans right now to clear the environmental and the right-of-way process. We have to do all that before we can go out to construction and get a contractor on board. So right now we're working with them on those clearances. We are proposing to upgrade the storm drain in Reagan. Our storm drain master plan showed that it was undersized, so we are proposing a 42-inch in lieu of, I believe it's a 36-inch. Let's go to 13. 13 shows some of the new water quality features that we'll be putting in. This will help treat stormwater. These will be located in the curbs next to the catch basins. So they'll collect water from the first flush in a rain event and filter it through a special design media with a plant, and then it will go back in the storm drain. And this will help meet our water quality requirements with the water board. 17. This is the lighting sheet. We're going to put in some new lighting, and right now we're proposing some lighting to be strung across the street to have a really high impact at night for a downtown flare. Let's go to 34. So like I said, part of this project and part of being awarded a grant, you need to show a lot of connectivity for bike lanes and pedestrians. So part of that involved looking at our ATP plan and seeing what kind of connectivity can we make to a lot of the bike routes. So Coyote Creek, as you can see, the 605 freeway is doing a project right now to improve bicycle traffic underneath the interchange and through the interchange. And so what we're going to propose to do is carry through the proposed Class 1 bike lane that's on the south side of Katella that they're going to put in. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect to it at Epson Way and bring it to Wallingsford. So our ATP plan took bicycle traffic from Coyote Creek and they directed it to the southern side of Katella through a Class 1 bike lane. They directed it across the street to the north along Wallingsford at the intersection of Katella and Wallingsford. They then took it into the neighborhood because Los Alamitos Boulevard in Katella is constrained right-of-way width and a lot of congestion, and they didn't feel that it was a good place to bring bicycles through. So they brought it through the neighborhood to the north here in Old Town West. And they brought the bike lane up Walnut, heading east on Florista, through Los Alamitos Boulevard to Pine Street. So that's the connection there. So we'll continue the Class 1 bike lanes, and I'll show you those in a minute, along Katella to Wallingsford, and then we'll put a Class 2 bike lane on Florista with a buffer to Pine Street. This is the intersection of Katella and Reagan, and what you're seeing here is on the next sheet, you can go to the next sheet, 36. So this is the crosswalk that we're going to install with a hawk system. So in order to get bicycles from the southerly neighborhood from Katella, again, we didn't want to, we're going to take pedestrians through Los Alamitos and Katella, and also to get, bicyclists to Pine Street, we needed a connection point. So it proposed a hawk system, which is a pedestrian traffic signal, and we're going to place that at Reagan and Katella. And so somebody can go, a bike or a ped can go up to it, press it, and then cars will be alerted along Katella that they'll be given, so it'll flash. It'll start flashing yellow, then it'll go to solid yellow, and then it will go to red, and then it will flash red. So when it goes all red, then the pet is given that walk sign, and then they'll safely cross. And usually there'll be a little bit more time left in the phasing for the pet to get across the street, so it'll flash red, almost like a stop sign. So they would treat it like a stop sign at that point, and they would proceed with caution. So the next piece of the bike lane, so we've gotten all the peds from the southerly side of Katella to Pine Street. We've gotten the bikes and the bikes from Coyote Creek to Pine Street. We also showed connectivity through a project that we've already done, which was the Los Alamitos bike lanes from Cerritos to Katella, and those are in, and they're functioning pretty well now. So if we want to go to page 41, we can run through the last piece of the bike lane. This is the bike lanes through the neighborhood to Walnut, and then we'll have Florista. Next page. These are class 2. These have a buffer. These are we're lucky that there's pretty wide streets in Old Town West to accommodate these. So we're hoping that this really improves the downtown feel and attraction to Pine Street, and making it a really good gathering place for events and the businesses. So thank you again.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments?
I will add that construction's slated to start in about a year. Once we're just trying to clear these Caltrans clearances.
Anybody?
I have a question.
Go.
How does having that new crosswalk at Katella and Reagan affect the traffic flow along Katella getting off the 605?
So these hawk systems are really efficient, because once you press it, like I ran through those phasings, it goes through a pretty fast cycle. So that ped has to get across. They got plenty of time, but they get across, and then it goes to flashing red, and then people proceed with caution. So I don't anticipating traffic to be impacted too much from what it is right now.
Okay. And that one is going, that's on, let me get my bearings here. That ped crossing is going on the boulevard or going over here?
The boulevard at Katella, at Reagan. So right next to
Oh,
Pine
boy.
Street. One street over.
That's where Madera's is, right?
Right.
Reagan, yeah.
Okay.
From Madera's across.
Okay, down that
St.
way.
Katella.
Isidore's.
All right, I mixed up the street,
Mhm.
so, okay. That wouldn't be too bad down there. Okay, so my question would be, when it cuts through the neighborhood, you said
Yeah.
the bike lane cut through the neighborhood. Can you explain the difference between class 1 and class 2? And then also, will those be taking away parking spaces on that street parking?
So class 1, you're separated, and class 1 on the Katella side is on the sidewalk, so it's a multi-use path. It's gonna be a large 10-foot wide multi-use path that's shared. So it'll be separated, so bicyclists feel the safest when they're on a class 1 bike lane. Class 2 is on the street, and this is gonna be a class 2 bike lane with buffer. So it'll have a buffer, a painted buffer zone too, that's 2 feet wide. So that will add safety as well. As far as parking goes, we're not gonna take away any parking. These will be outside of the parking.
So it'll look like, I know.
It'll look a lot like it does right now, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it's just hard to read these little drawings, but I'll
Yeah, I know.
research a little bit.
I know.
All right, so wherever there is parking, there should still be parking, but the bike lane's gonna be on the outside of that.
Yeah, so we put in the traffic calming in Old Town West, and it's gonna look a lot like that.
Like that one, okay. All right. Any other questions? Well, I had one more. I know that we're doing the events, and this may not be for the engineer, but we're doing the events on Pine Street to attract people to the area, right? Which I think is good. Is there coordination or any type of data that's being collected on who attends, how many attend, resident versus non-resident? Basically, if outreach went out, like if you got this one had a real nice flyer, did that work better than this one? I don't know if that's a Parks and Rec question, or maybe Irving can hit that one.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So I can speak to the events that Development Services conducts. And so whether that's our economic development initiatives like Pine Streets, when we've had our Nights on Pine, and back when we had our Parklet, we don't do a study of necessarily who attends, like the demographic of like resident versus non-resident, but we do an audit of like how many and the peak time. So for example, we had our neighborhood cleanup day most recently, and there was 322 vehicles that passed through that participated in that overall, the 3-hour event. So, slightly drop off from the year before. There was closer to 400. But, we'll evaluate based on like, were there other conflicting events? Was it just the fact that residents themselves don't feel like they need to attend an event for a service that's already provided to them at their doorstep at a quarterly basis throughout the year? So those are all comparisons. There are, I guess, software data analysis platforms that offer that. One that we've looked into through economic development is called Placer AI, which will identify through your phone who's coming in at times, where are they going afterwards, and that's a really good tool for, like, example, like if we're trying to draw certain businesses, and you can see what's the popular kind of choice, right? Or where are they going after, or are they attracting a certain, interest based on like the type of event? So we've done that study, but at least preliminarily, we just do like overall attendance and the success of some of the events based on what we offer. At times we've done surveys, so that can also yield like results of like whether or not we're doing something that is popular or not. But that's kind of all encompassing. Recreation, I know they do a similar process for their events as an after action report, but I don't think they go beyond that either from my conversations with them on Celebrate.
Yeah, I just think it would be, one, interesting to see the numbers and who are hitting, and if you're targeting the residents, or if you're going bigger, circles, and who's coming. But I think for the future, because you're generally, living in this area for a long time, people haven't generally been driven to that area. It's never really been used for anything. So I saw the word reimagine. I think it's true. I mean, that street used to have the post office, and that was about it. So, which is no longer there. So I think it would be interesting information to keep as we go, just to make sure, you know, the events are, one, sustainable, of course, and then is actually working to drive and be a benefit to the residents, so.
Oh, that's a good point. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? No. All right, thank you very much for the report. Do we need to do anything for the report? No? Okay, let's keep going. All right, items from the Development Services Department.
So thank you, Chair. Thank you, Commission. I just have one item, and it's just in recognition of National Public Works Week that just took place last week. And then just highlighting our Public Works Division and really just sharing that we have 7-day coverage with our Public Works crew that will work primarily to provide service to the community on the infrastructure along the parks and public spaces, buildings, and then our medians. So it's just highlighting their hard work and effort in making sure that the city looks nice, that it's pretty, that it's operational. So just wanted to share that that took place last week. And you know, throughout the month of May, we've been trying to do little ways to like celebrate. We may have seen like a social media reel that you know, one that that highlights what they do as a division, as a team. I'll add one more, and that's just plugging you back into our social media channels. So we have obviously the City of Los Al app. We have our Facebook, and we have the City of Los Alamitos YouTube. But I also want to make sure that you stay tuned to our Discover Los Al page. If you don't already follow that page, it's kind of falls under the wings of economic development. We work with a consultant that does a lot of the social media presence through that, and it highlights a lot of the city's like businesses, noteworthy establishments, things like that. So Discover Los Al is a fun page if you haven't already taken a look. Just a little sneak peek, we're going to be doing a National Burger Day post internally within our economic development team, highlighting all the different establishments that serve burgers in the city. But there's going to be a fun one that's going to be on Discover Los Al as well. That hopefully will be lighthearted and fun. I'll say that.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't have any other updates for our department, so thank you.
All right, thank you for your report. We'll now move on to commissioner reports. Commissioner Grego, you have anything?
I have, well, my husband, not me, but my husband, went to the neighborhood cleanup day. He really liked it. He didn't have to get out of his car. So he was thankful for that. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Quilty?
Nope.
No. Commissioner Eichmann?
No.
No. All right, I just have a couple quick ones. The Public Works, I think City Council, I watched that meeting last night. They had them all up here, and it was pretty cool. And it was interesting to know that they are 7 days. That's good. That's good. We did go over and get our mulch or compost. We always appreciate that. That's always a good event. And the last item, let's see if I remember where it was. Oh, I know what it was. I just wanted to thank the city staff. We were talking before the meeting, and one, that when you guys did the slurry on the street here near their community center, it seems like everything happened during spring break and it didn't really impact classes, and I think there was a lot of happy people for that. So thank you very much. I know my wife did not, I asked her if she was impacted. She said no, so that's good. And then also I think there was some changes made in the shifting of the classes where they shifted them a half an hour to help with the parking back and forth. So Parks and Recs, thank you for that. And other than that, that concludes my report. So I think we're done here. So I'll take a motion to adjourn. Anyone?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're done.